Hey friends, it's Sara Oehler here from Softflex Company, and I am super excited today because today we are going to use our Mermaids Lagoon Design Challenge Kit. So we sold these about a month ago. We only have limited quantities in all of our kits. This particular one sold out in about 24 hours because everyone was so excited about the colorway that would probably come in a Mermaid Lagoon kit. Lots of really pretty colors. And so about 35 people out there have one of these kits, and they are going to be able to bead here with me today. Many of them have probably already opened it and started making stuff, and then we challenge you to post pictures of what you make using the kit in our VIB group on Facebook. And every single design that you make using parts and pieces from the kit is an entry to win the next kit that is available. So I'm sure shortly after the show, we'll start seeing a bunch of designs go up there. And even if you don't have a kit, it's a lot of fun to see what everybody makes from the same kit. So I highly suggest, if you haven't joined our VIB group, go do that and enjoy watching all the designs post over the next few weeks as the variety of wonderful designers out there who pick up our kits show us what they make. So in conjunction with the Mermaid Lagoon kit, as usual, we have next month's kit available today. It's called Harvest Moon. It's beautiful. You guys are going to love it. Again, we're very limited in supply. I think this one has fewer than normal. It might be closer to 30. It's hard for us to make a kit and have the exact same things in every single one. So it really limits what we can do, but these are available now. I saw they went available like 20 minutes before the show or 30 minutes before the show. I saw a few of them have already been ordered. So our supply on this is probably going to go quickly as well because people are really having fun making stuff and posting in the VIB group. So if you want to join us and you want to enjoy this kit, definitely get in there, order it as soon as possible, and then we'll have a live show next month at the very end of September where we'll do the same thing. You can bead with me, and then you can post your own designs, and we'll pick another winner for the following month. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Rochelle. Hi, Karen. Hey, Sue. There's all my friends. They're all here. Okay, so let's go ahead and flip this down, and we will start opening it up, and we can do some chit-chat. How's everybody doing today? Oh, wow. This just came off of here completely. Okay. That's unusual. All right. Here we go. So this is Mermaids Lagoon. I also wanted to point out, if you're going to buy the Harvest Moon kit, we do still have some of the tiara cast kits available, which have those really fun feathers and beads and thunderbirds and lots of cool stuff. And then, of course, my favorite color of Softflex is in this kit. So that one's still available because we had a really big quantity on it, if anybody's still interested in that. And then we have brand new bead stringing starter kits and brand new craft wire starter kits, so you can check those out. Everything's right on our homepage, www.softflexcompany.com. It's under new products. If you just scroll down a little bit, you'll see all 4 of those kits: Harvest Moon, the bead stringing, the craft wire, and then the tiara cast. And if you're just starting out and you've never beaded before, I highly suggest getting one of these beginner bead stringing kits and then doing a monthly challenge with us, because I think it's sometimes hard to get motivated without outside motivation when you try something new. Sometimes I'll order something thinking I'm going to do it, and then I don't get around to it. And this just gives you kind of a little bit of a kick, a little bit of pressure, because there's a bunch of other people doing it too. And so you can do it with us. So if you've been kind of towing the idea of maybe doing a challenge with us, then get one of the new Harvest Moon kits. buy a bead stringing starter kit and you'll have everything you need to have a good time creating. And you'll have kind of a deadline too, which I think can be really super helpful sometimes. Okay, let me take off my sweater because I'm already getting toasty. Okay, so this is the Mermaids Lagoon kit. We're gonna go through everything that's in the kit. Again, this kit is not available for sale today. Harvest Moon is. This one's already been purchased, but there's a bunch of people out there that have it. And then you can also make designs using similar beads and similar products to whatever I end up making today. These are sort of a beautiful emerald green. These ones are really lovely because they're faceted, so they've got a lot of sparkle to them. We've got a really pretty blue. It's kind of a pinched flat bead. That's really lovely. We've got some just sort of clear, but they have a little bit of an AB finish, so they look a little like moonstone, which is fun when you're thinking about mermaids. Got kind of a light, almost a light purple, almost like a little lavender, and then a really deep dark blue, like you're in the darkest part of the ocean. The next live sale is tomorrow at 1 p.m. It is a Mike Sherman private collection sale. Those are usually the more popular of the two that we do because it's all products that come from his private collection, and so they're really, really special items. And he even purchased a few new things specifically for this sale, which he was really excited about. So we'll have a few brand new things too that he just brought in his own collection. Okay, so we've got some green tubing this time. We've used the clear tubing before, but this is kind of cool. It has sort of a seaweedy look to it, which is neat. And oh yeah, I forgot about that. I had given them I had extra super duos, a bunch in the same color because I had bought a bunch for a project that I was doing and I didn't use them all. So they threw some of those super duo beads in. So we're definitely going to use those today because you know I'm a big fan of super duos. Some really light seed beads and some really beautiful, very almost like it's like a green, like a teal maybe, bugle bead. That's really pretty. And then we've got some gold. We're doing gold crimps. These are our gold-filled Softlex crimps, which are very high quality. They're double the wall thickness of most out there, and so they're really thick and strong. And then we've got a little findings package here where we've got some head pins. We've got what looks like kind of a little gold dangle, almost looks like a mermaid fin. James, you and Rosa did a really nice job on this kit. I got involved just a little bit on this one. James picked most of the beads. Doesn't that kind of look like a mermaid fin? I love it. Cool. That's awesome. And then these can be used for multiple things. They can be used as ear wires, or I've used them also to make, in a previous show, I used them to make a wine charm holder. You could also just make them into connected loops, all sorts of things. That'll be fun. Let's take all this out. And then we've got a little spin clasp. We've got a couple ear wires and a bunch of little head pins here. Lots of cool stuff. Oh, and then look at these pretty crystals. Look at these pretty sparklers. Those look so similar to the ones that we just put into the tiara cast, or yeah, the tiara cast kit too. They have some crystals kind of like this. So there's one big one and then there's two smaller ones that match it. And then this is fun, a couple little shells. A couple little tiny shells. So I'm pretty sure you can string these. They were strung originally. I can see a hole in this one for sure. I'm just trying to see how you would string it is my question, but we'll have to kind of look closer at that. And then these definitely look like they can be strung too. Awesome. But they finish off that mermaid vibe, don't they? Okay, let's see. Terry says, what do I put in to search for the tiara cast? It's right on the home page. So it's if you go to the home page and you scroll down just a little bit, there's a section that has 4 new products, and one of them is the tiara cast kit. So you should be able to find it there, but one of my wonderful coworkers here will probably post a link as well, would be my guess. And I'm sure they'll post the link to the Harvest Moon kit too, if they haven't already. Okay, so the color of the month is dark blue lapis, and it's so cloudy here today. I'm really sad that this is not picking up better. Oh, next to my black bracelet, you can really see it. Sometimes you just need that contrasting color. It's a really deep, dark, beautiful blue color, really gorgeous blue color. So one of the things I was thinking about, I definitely want to use these super duos, so let's free those from the bag. One of the things I was thinking about today is I don't do a lot of I've been doing a lot of really long necklaces, and I want to challenge myself to do something different today because I feel like I'm getting a little bit in a rut of doing kind of a similar design each time, and I really want to expand a little bit here. So I'm thinking about these super duos because I think these are so fun, and they would probably look really pretty with this blue wire for sure, but there aren't too many of them, so I'm wondering if I should do more of an earring with these. Would probably make more sense. Let's try something. And again, if you've never watched one of my design challenges before, I do not plan ahead. I am designing on the fly. Sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't, but you know, it is what it is. We learn along the way, and that's what I think is the most important point of the whole exercise. And I think that's what everyone else is enjoying too when they're creating using these beading kits, is just having a little bit of freedom to learn from our mistakes and make new things. Okay, so I wouldn't be a very good hostess if I wasn't doing that myself. So that's why I'm going to challenge myself to try something new today that I maybe haven't tried before, because that's what I'm asking all of you to do, right? Jenny said, a little delay in getting here, had to order my kit. Oh, nice, Jenny. Glad to hear that. Terry said, couldn't say hi because I didn't want to lose my Harvest Moon kit. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are ordering them. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm thinking, what I'm kind of thinking about doing, and why don't we just kind of, I feel like I might need a crimp on this end if I do what I think I'm gonna do. So I think I'll go ahead and crimp this in half, and then we'll see what happens. So I'm making an earring, I'm pretty sure. I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure. And so what I've done is just take a long piece of wire. I've got my 2x2 millimeter crimp tube here at the top with just a little loop. And I'm gonna go ahead and take my magical crimpers and start crimping. If you've never used these before, they're really easy to use. You can find them on our website as well, www.softluxcompany.com. And the crimp tube fits just dead center inside that little guy there. And then you compress. If you do it correctly, you'll get what looks like a little square, sort of. And it'll have 4 little corners. And then you're gonna go ahead and do the same thing, but in the opposite direction. So now you're actually compressing in those 4 corners. And then you just go around and around tightening it down. I saw some folks had posted pictures of their tiara cast kit designs. You have until September 18th if you still want to participate in that giveaway. Someone's going to win one of the silver silk kits from Nilay Patel. That'll go on sale on the 19th. And there's only like 30 of those too. That's another very limited kit. So if you want to enter to win one of those, you'll post pictures of what you make from the tiara cast kit. Okay, so now that I've crimped this, I'm going to take both wires and I'm going to do some, I'm going to see, can I go through both ways? Of course I can't. Of course I can't. That's not going to work. Oh, that makes me so sad. But we can go this way. So I'm going to go one wire into each. I was hoping to go back and forth, but that's not going to work. But we can go this way instead. And we could even maybe use some of these teal. Let's cut open our teal. I'm probably going to be really sad that I just cut this because they're going to go everywhere, but for the purpose of live video, we're gonna do the messy version here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and string one of these bugles on each strand now, and then a duo. I'm gonna see if I can get this long enough that I can actually make a circle, but we'll see what ends up happening. So that's what this looks like here. This would also make like a cool bracelet. But I think I'm gonna do earrings. Okay, so this will look actually really pretty with my dark brown hair. You'll be able to see them really well probably. Very mermaid-esque colors. Jackie says, I get sad for some of my plans that don't work out the way I planned either. I know. You never know till you try it though, right? It's worth trying. And then you just keep on moving. If it doesn't work out, keep on moving. Okay. Yeah, so it's starting to form the way I want to make sort of a big circle earring. Probably connect up here at the top. You can't even just do like these at the bottom and leave the blue wire. That would be kind of pretty. And then we would just hook it onto the ear wire. Let's see if it works. If I decide to do that. I want to make sure it's about the right same size on each side. It is nice because it's not crimped, so it'll slide back and forth and I can kind of find that center. So I'm going to take both wires and string a 2x2 millimeter crimp tube from my kit and bring it down to about where I want it to be. It just depends on how big you want them to be. You could make this whatever size makes the most sense for you. You could go really big and do a bunch of them, or you could keep it smaller, which this is probably about an average size for me to wear. I like seeing the blue wire exposed because the blue wire is so pretty. So I'm holding on to my crimp about where I want it, and then I'm going to take my wire, just one wire, and go back into the crimp, push it through, and I'm just going to tighten this down to the right size, and the right size is going to be similar to the other side. Just a little tighter. That's looking pretty good. And then I can go ahead and use my magical crimpers. Kristen loves the dark blue, you guys. It's one of her favorite colors. She's always talking about it. lately? I'd say like this last year. This has been one of your favorite colors. I don't know if you just discovered it, but I've noticed you're using it a lot more this last year. And speaking of Kristen, if you haven't checked out, Kristen has a new live show. Kristen's my coworker. She's our graphic designer, one of our 2 graphic designers. She does our web stuff. And she has a new live show because she actually makes jewelry too. It's on YouTube on Mondays. I think it's 11 a.m. Pacific time. And she has, I think, 3 shows up now. She made these beautiful Swarovski crystal earrings this week. So you can check that out on the Softflix Company YouTube page. Okay, so now we've got our 2 ends. I'm gonna hook this onto the ear wire and see how it sits. I don't know that it's gonna sit really well. I may have to do something in addition, but I just wanna see because I've never made an earring like this before. So I'm just going to use the tip of my magical crimping pliers, which are like a mini chain nose plier, open it just a little bit to the side, and I will slide my, and if you like wire working, James was just in here filming his next, oh, it's going to hang this way, which is kind of interesting and cool. James was just in here filming his next craft wire video for YouTube as well, and it is making a little tiny bird cage. It's super cute. It'll be up later this week if you want to go, and that's not live, it's just a video, so you'll be able to find it there pretty easily. Isn't this cute, you guys? I like it. So you could do one of 2 things. You could let it show this way where it's going to show the wire in the front and then just a peak of beads. And if you look at yourself from the side, you would see it here. Or you could hook these 2 pieces onto a jump ring and hang that from the loop, and then it would hang face front this way. So you could do it either way. I'll photograph it both ways so you can kind of get an idea of what that looks like. The best thing about a Softflex earring is it's so super light because it's mostly just Softflex wire and then a few beads at the bottom. But this is really cute. I think I would definitely wear this. So I'm going to make another one and then I'll photograph it both ways and post it in the VIB group for you guys to see what that looks like. So the other thing I wanted to make today is maybe a bracelet of some kind because I feel like I've really gotten into this sort of long necklace thing that I want to get out of. So we could do one of these in the center. You know how I always like a matching pair of things. We could do one of these in the center and pull wire from either side and do some beads. I'm trying to think of what I really love and definitely want to use today. So these are gorge. Those are gorgeous. I could also do this in a necklace. So I'm just working out, what am I gonna do? These would be pretty on either side, but how do we work in some of these other colors too? This color is much, I like this one. Let's get some of these out. Let's get some of these guys out, and I love that mermaid tail too. I wish I was making a necklace because I would probably use that for sure, but maybe we'll have time eventually here. Okay, so I'm thinking I want to do like, these are so small, I don't know if it's gonna look funny to have some of those. So let's try it and find out. Like usual, we don't know. I like to use these sort of as connectors, and so what I'll do is I will string a crimp tube. And if you haven't seen, I have a book with Kristen Fagan called Seed Bead Revolution, and it talks about using all of these really neat 2-hole beads in some really simple, easy ways, and then some more complicated ways too, but mostly pretty simple, easy ways, because we wanted to show how you can use them in just basic stringing projects, and not just huge, intricate bead weaving projects. So this is one of my favorite ways to use them, is to make them into sort of a connector. Christina says, I'm wondering about the gold hoops too. Kristen says, are they possibly hoops for earrings? They are, yes, and I will show you how those work. So I'm just crimping the same way I did before with my magical crimpers. Going around and around. I'm going to go ahead and trim. One of the nice things about doing the magical crimpers is they look like little beads, and if it becomes part of your design, like it's actually in your design, it still looks really, really pretty, like it's meant to be part of the design, which is nice. Okay, so I'm going to string one of these pretty green beads on. It also allows you to see some of the color of the wire. It's just going to sort of peek out and become part of the design as well. So it'll be a nice layered look. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to string my crimp tube on, go into my super duo bead. I got these super duos from beadshop.com. I also often get my 2-hole beads or unusually shaped beads from Fusion Beads, and that's who sponsored our beads in our book, Seed Bead Revolution. So if you really like these, Softflex does not carry these 2-hole beads. They were just something I had extras of that we threw in for you guys to try. You'll have to find another source, and I really suggest either of those sources is a great place to go. So in a case like this where it's a little bit of a tight fit, sometimes I'll see if I can string back into my bead, and that way I can get just a little bit closer with my crimp. And so I can slide my crimp tube just gently inside my magical crimper and then tug to get as close as possible. And then I can tug from the bottom to even up the loops so they look similar on both ends. See how those look kind of similar? This one's a little bigger, so I'm going to tighten them down just a little bit and compress. You always want to make sure you're getting around the edges of that crimp tube. And then you got what looks like a little bead, and I'll go ahead and cut from the other end. And if you want to learn more about these Super Duo beads, you can pick up Seed Bead Revolution either from Softflex Company, or you can also find it on Amazon. Either place. So that's the beginning of my bracelet. I'm going to keep working on it here to see if I can get a little bit more of a length so we can see what it's going to kind of look like as it keeps moving forward. So I've got another 2x2 crimp. I'm going to string it onto my Softflex medium beading wire from the Mermaids Lagoon kit and into my Super Duo, back into the crimp tube. And I'm looking for a similar size to the other side for it to look appropriate. And then I'm just going to go ahead and straighten out my wires inside the crimp tube and crimp with these magical crimping pliers, which truly are magical. They take a crimp tube and make it round, and at the same time do a really good job of holding on to the wire. And once that's tightened down, I can cut off, and I'll just kind of keep working on it. We'll see where we get here. Oh, thanks for posting a link. That's really nice, Kristen. So maybe Kristen will do some videos with some of the super duos, and we used what? We used Unos, super duos, we used Tilas, mini Tilas. We used, oh gosh, we used so many different kinds of beads. Rulas, I think. We used O beads and tri beads and quad beads. There's so many different kinds of seed beads now, you guys. It's insane. I feel like we need to do seed bead revolution too, because like at least 10 different styles of new seed beads came out just while we were creating that book. There's so many. I just have to talk Kristen into it. I'm pretty sure she's not ready to do another book yet. The last time I asked, she didn't answer me, so. We'll put her on the spot and ask her here on live video, right? Kristen, are you ready to do another book yet? I don't know if I'm ready, actually, to be quite honest. It's a big undertaking when you write a book, you guys, especially if you do all of the graphics and photos and everything. It is a lot of work. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my crimp in the center of my crimping plier. And the good news is I found Kristen's birthday present today. So I plan to give her the tiara cast set that I made with the tiara cast kit on the video. I bought my kit and I plan to give it to her for her birthday when I was in Arizona, and it didn't make it in my bag, and then I spent 2 weeks looking for it, and I finally found it today. So now when I see her next week for a company meeting, I can finally give her her birthday present. But I thought she would really like it because it just reminded me a lot of her, like painting on the feather and feathers in general, because I know she does some feathers in her paintings. Rochelle says you're both officially on the spot now. Yeah, why did I do that exactly? Okay, so this is how this is starting to form, and I'll keep going a little bit further and add another layer, and that way we can start seeing it. I may not finish the whole thing today because it's pretty repetitive. You can just do a portion like this if you want to do asymmetrical, and you can always do something on the opposite side that's different too. But I'm probably going to keep it asymmetrical and just continue forward with the same pattern. So let me do one more, add one more section, and then we will move on and maybe do something with this mermaid tail up here. Dee says that she's bummed that she didn't get all the beads you're using. Huh. That's interesting. I thought they were all the same this time, but maybe it was a mixture of different beads. I'll have to ask me, is James here? Softlook says, hi Dee, I'm sorry you didn't get all the duo beads. They were kind of hidden in the seed bead bag. Did you pull out all of those beads? Oh yeah, they were hidden with, the duo beads were hidden with the bugles and the seed beads. So they were in a bag all by themselves. So maybe you have them and you just didn't quite see them yet. So take a look and let us know. If not, we'll send you some of these super duos. That's no big deal if they were missing from your kit for some reason. Okay, so I'm just adding on the next section. It's amazing how much you can make with one of these kits because there's so many beads, and if you're using our wire and exposing our wire, you don't need a lot of beads in every design. So you'll see, you guys, if you go to the VIB group, if you're not already a member, you're gonna see the designers that are using these kits, they're making tons and tons of designs, like sometimes tons and tons. Every design is an entry, so I mean, it only benefits the designer to make more, but you're just able to make so many because there's so many beads in every single kit. These would make really cute earrings too, wouldn't they? Just like a long dangle earring. Very, very cute. Okay, so I've got my next bead on, and then I'll do a crimp. Oh, Dee, you must have missed that bag of seed beads. We'll send those to you. James is on here. I think that's who's responding as Softflex, so James will take care of that. I am sure I have more of these, James, if you need more of the duos, and we'll get those out to you. Sometimes when we're kidding, you know, we get in a hurry and we miss something. So those should have been in your kit for sure. Wouldn't they make great earrings? Yeah, I think so too, Rochelle. So I'm just stuffing my wire back in this green bead again so I can get kind of close with my crimping plier. The trick is that you don't want to get so close that your crimping plier can't get around the outside of that crimp tube. It's kind of a happy medium. So that's why I like to kind of pull it away, put my crimping plier on it, just gently holding it, and then pull from this side to make sure that I'm getting it as close as I can, but there's still a little bit of space so that I can really get around that crimp tube to get the four corners. Howdy, Melanie. Welcome. We're using the Mermaids Lagoon kit today with our dark blue lapis Softflex and some super duos and some crimping. I'm just trying to get around this crimp enough times that it keeps sliding to the side. So I want to make sure I'm getting around and around it, but I'm getting it from every angle too, so it turns into a nice round bead. And then I can just trim this on the other side. And we've got our next section. So I can keep working on this after the live show. I'm just going to add a clasp on one side, maybe over here. So maybe we'll add that just so everybody sees how I do it. And then I can finish off the other end on my own time. Okay, so I'm just going to take a piece of our wire, our medium Softflex wire, and I will string my crimp tube. Hey Sabine from the Netherlands. It's so cool how this live video allows people from all over the world to come together and do some beading. It's awesome. Okay, so I've got my 2x2 crimp tube. I'm gonna get it down to about the same size as the other side. It doesn't have to be perfect, but close. And then I can string my clasp, and then I'm just gonna fiddle with this to get my third wire back through that crimp. 3 019s will fit through a 2x2, so I use that a lot. And that kind of makes what looks like sort of a little bow tie shape. It's a great way to connect something. I can do the same thing on the other side, make a connector similar with a loop that this can then connect to. And that's probably how I'll finish it off because it's just a little more secure than a jump ring. If I can avoid jump rings, I do for the most part. Okay, so I've got my crimp, and I'm just going to turn it on its side and crimp again. Make this little tube round. It does take lots of crimps. Yes, that's true. Less beads, but more crimps. But the little gold metal color is so pretty. I think it really offsets the blues and greens in this to have that little gold piece in each section. Okay, so I'll finish this off on my own time into a full bracelet. It would also make a lovely necklace, or like I said earlier, you could cut off and do an earring. There's lots of options with this type of design that would be really fun. You could even just do this in the front of the necklace and then do the blue wire up the back. That would be really pretty, very simple, but also very elegant and really lovely. Okay, so that was design number 2. I have my earrings up here. I've got my bracelet that matches. Now I kind of wanted to look at this mermaid tail and kind of think about what I might do with that. And then somebody had asked me about this too. So these are meant to be earrings. And basically you would slip your bead or whatever it is you're on it. And then I think what you do is you just bend this up. And then this is supposed to shoot through it. I think that's my understanding of how these work. So, and then if you wanted to, you could even angle this a little bit, just so it doesn't pull out really easily. And then you've got a simple earring where you can hang something off of it, like one of these pretty gold beads would be really gorgeous. Or these, I love these green, like emerald green, really pretty. Let's see if these will actually even, if we can slide beads on here without even doing anything. Yeah, look at that. You can even just slide a few simple beads on. Like that. And then you want to be careful not to bend it too much because you can work hard in any metal that you bend. So you do want to be really thoughtful when you're making your bend. And then let's see if this will work going in here. So you've got to be able to put it in. These were one of the items that we got from that warehouse closure. So it's not an item that we carry every day that I'm really familiar with. But I think that'll hold pretty well on your ear. Might have to just kind of bend it in just a little here. Simple earring, and I'll post a picture of those too. And try them on and make sure they don't fall off, because that's important. What type of pliers are they? What type of pliers are they? It says pillars, but I'm gonna guess you're saying pliers. These are my magical crimping pliers. They're actually used for crimping to make a crimp tube connect the wire to something, but also into a round bead. But I also use the tip because the tip is flat. I tend to use it as a chain nose plier sometimes too, like you just saw for bending things, because they're always handy and they're right here. And so it's really easy to just sort of bend and sort of work with the wire. Kristen says, I think you bend the straight wire. Yeah, that's what I did. They're both straight wires. Oh, you mean to just bend it up? Like it would just bend up? Like this? And then this clips like this? Oh, that is probably how you do it. It just seems like that would be a little weird. But I guess it's like your ears hanging here, right? It just seems weird to have this like wire sticking out. Huh. Definitely interesting to play around with. And like I said, it's one of the things we got from the warehouse closure. So we don't have them in normal stock, but we have a bunch of them. So we thought we would throw them in the kit so that we could all play around with them. Jetty says maybe you make a hook out of it. Hook? You mean like this? Because you can't unhook it. Once you've done that, you can't unhook it. So it's almost like it has to stay straight out for you to be able to hook and unhook it. But it's a little weird. Kristen says, yeah, I think you would need to play with it and see how they feel, for sure. Diane says, where are you based? We're based out of Sonoma, California in the USA. Okay, so I wanted to do something with this mermaid tail and I got totally distracted. I kind of like these dark blue beads have sort of been calling my name too. They kind of look like little shells, like little dark blue shells. Diane says the straight wire needs to be tilted until it goes into the hole. Yeah. I think we just have to all play around with it and find what works best for us. I think this one, this way probably makes the most sense to me, but let me try it on after and see how it feels. Rochelle says, the first way you did it, Sarah, that's how I've seen it done before. Okay, I'm sure there's like 1,000 ways to do it too, I would guess. So I love this little mermaid tail. I'm thinking like this little shell bead above it would be cool. It's pretty lightweight, so it doesn't have a lot of weight to it. So it wouldn't be bad to hang something from the bottom, but I feel like this might be just like a little too big. Maybe these dark blue beads. I don't know how well those match. Or this little moonstone beads could come from the bottom or something. Okay, so let's just do a quick attach to this, and we'll just kind of play around a little with a quick design, and then I gotta scoot out of here to work on my future kit ideas for all of you. There's always more kits to be made, isn't there? I hope you really enjoy the Harvest Moon kit. I think it's so cute. And I think you guys are going to really like it a lot. If you haven't ordered one yet, they're for sale right now. This last kit sold out in 24 hours. The Mermaids Lagoon kit sold out very quickly. And there were already a lot of people ordering them. So if you really, really want one, I highly suggest you do it right now to secure your kit. Otherwise, you might miss out. They do go pretty fast. They're on the Softflix Company website. Diane says, my daughter Holly and I are watching from the UK. It's 9:40 p.m. here. Hi guys, thanks for watching. Can we ship to the UK? We definitely can ship to the UK. Yeah, you will get some shipping rates at checkout. If there's any problem with the rate or it doesn't look right, you can always contact us and we'll try to find the best rates possible. Are these beads heavy? Which beads are we talking about? Like these ones here, the bigger ones are not very heavy because they're just kind of a lightweight glass. They don't have a lot of weight to them. None of the beads here are too heavy if you're just doing like a few beads. Okay, so I've got my wire crimped. Again, I'm not too sure what I'm doing. Since I do everything on the fly, it's always like I'm going to do a long piece so that I have room to work just in case. I can always cut it off and use it for something else. Okay, so we've got what looks sort of like a little mermaid tail. I'm thinking about stringing this guy on for sure. I was also thinking maybe a little contrast with these pretty green beads would be nice. So I'm thinking this will be the center of the necklace, and then maybe I would, ooh, these are so pretty too if I could work them in. I still think they're so quite lovely. I don't think they're gonna work in this particular design though. Okay, so then I feel like this would make a really nice, beautiful drop, and then maybe, you know, something coming up the back end. So I want to go back to these because I think these look so beautiful with this stuff too. And they kind of just remind me of mermaids because of they're almost like little scales, which I think would be really nice. So I think I'm going to crimp this off. I think I will just make this like a pendant. So I'm going to go ahead and string back into my crimp tube. And I used a lot of wire, and again, this is a great time to go ahead and cut this off a little bit. Just take your wire and string it back through these beads in order to get, these are nice big beads too, so they fit through nicely. And that will allow us to get a little bit closer when we crimp. There we go. You want like a similar size on the top and the bottom. And let's see, Diane says, I make silver jewelry here in the UK and I think your items would look great together. That's awesome. You should join our VIB group because all of the designers out here who got one of these kits are going to be posting their variety of designs in the coming weeks. And I didn't mark down a due date for that, you guys. I should have looked on the calendar. Usually it's 2 weeks that we give you to post your designs. So there will be so many cool designs to look at in our VIB group in the next 2 weeks. It will really blow your mind. And then some of the tiara cast designs are being posted now too. So there's going to be lots of fun stuff just to inspire and get you motivated and thinking about how you can use Softflex beading wire in your designs. And Softflex comes in, what is it, 26 different colors. So we're using the really dark blue color right now, but you could definitely do some really fun stuff with all the other colors too. Diane says, how do I join? So it's right on our Facebook page. I think it might say VIB Studio Group. And maybe one of my coworkers can actually post a link. That would make it a lot easier. Yeah, can you put a link up to the group, and then you're gonna have to ask to join, and then we'll approve you. So that's how you end up joining. Okay, so we've got kind of a nice dangle here, and then I was thinking I could just sort of string up from there. And I can do it 2 ways. I can join here by crimping on each side, or I can just do a straight strand of wire through the center, just like a bead or a pendant, like that. And then I was thinking up here of doing some of these guys because I think these are so pretty. Let me see if it'll actually. So let me string a few of these on just so we can kind of see how it looks. I feel like this looks like such a beautiful little mermaid tail. I mean, it's not like truly a mermaid tail, but it's a nice representation of a mermaid tail. These colors are so gorgeous. teals and blues and gold. Really luscious. Chrissy says, is the Harvest Moon kit up for sale? I can't find it. It is. You should be able to find it right on the homepage, and one of my wonderful coworkers will link again for it. Kristen says, just a note, if you're logged in as a designer, you will not see kits. You have to be retail or log out and shop as a guest. Yeah, so that's important. If you are a designer, we do have fantastic designer discounts. So if you have a resale license or if you're from a different country, make sure you chat with us to get your designer discounts, but it won't work on the kits is the only thing. Really fantastic designer discounts. We changed our policy just recently, so definitely contact us and find out more. And international discounts as well, because we know that the duty fees and taxes and stuff can be, and the shipping rates can be a little overwhelming. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible on all of you. Here we go. There we go. So I think I'm just going to crimp those in place. And then I'll just do a simple clasp on the back end, and I'll leave this really kind of simple and I think very elegant. So I'm gonna flip you guys up here. Have a loud chit chat. I have a video schedule. Let me undo this. Hi! I have a video scheduled to go over real fast for those of you that like to watch my videos. We have a private collection sale tomorrow here live on Facebook. It's from Mike's Private Collection. Tons of really cool beads and all sorts of really awesome stuff that we'll be selling right here live. And I'll go over how we do that tomorrow with all of you. We've got a live design challenge with Jesse James Beads on September 4th. And then we've got a Softflex live design challenge with Jill Wiseman's new subscription box, which does have Softflex in it this time, on September 12th. And then also please do check out Kristen's live videos every Monday morning now on YouTube. Free Spirit Beading at 11 a.m. And then later this week, make sure you check out James's new video, which is a beautiful little bird's nest that he made out of craft wire. It's adorable. You're going to love it. So we have tons of new videos coming up from all three of us, and I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow at the live sale. In the meantime, make sure you get your Harvest Moon kit. I hate getting the emails when people are sad because they missed out on the latest kit, and there aren't that many of these. So get your Harvest Moon kit. If you wanted a tiara cast kit, we still have plenty of those left, so grab one of those too while you're at it. And they actually, you can see the colors in the tiara cast kit. I was saying to Kristen this morning, these two kits actually work really well together, because you can imagine looking at the graphics and stuff for Harvest Moon, there's a lot of browns and golds and things in it for fall. And so these two kits are actually really compatible. If you got both, you could make something really fantastic with them intermixing the parts and pieces. Diane said, what time were you on tomorrow in the UK? Well, I start at the same time tomorrow that I started today at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And if it's 9:40 now, I'm going to guess that it started at 9 p.m. your time today. So it will be the same tomorrow, about 9 p.m. The live sales are amazing. We have a bunch of beautiful beads that the owner of Softflex set aside and was going to use it in his own designs. And unfortunately, due to just things that happen in life, he is now in a wheelchair and doesn't design anymore because he doesn't have use of his hands. So we have been selling all of his beads from his private collection because he'd like to find a good home for them, but you wouldn't believe the size of his private collection. Over the years as the owner of Softflex, he gathered some really amazing things. And since he's been seeing how much people love his beads, he's actually been buying some new things to supplement in as well. So we have a bead tomorrow that he bought in a few different colors that we had sold at one point, and they're really, really, really pretty. So I'm excited for tomorrow. I think we're going to have a great time, and I look forward to seeing all of you at the live sale. Thanks, Dee. Thanks, Lynn. It's 1 p.m. tomorrow, Pacific time. I'll see you guys all later. Thanks for joining me for the Mermaids Lagoon kit. Get your Harvest Moon kit, and we'll post the date for the video and the date that the pictures or design pictures are due after this video so that it's really clear and transparent. I'll post it in the VIP group where everybody hangs out and chats anyway. All right, love you guys. Bye.